Hi, my name is Shawn Taylor. That's my friend Chris Ford, aka The Objective Geek of YouTube and Twitter fame. And it might be an okay thing that we have to re record this because the first time we recorded this, we spent several minutes talking about the longest peas that we've ever
That was
taken. Several.
quality stuff there, Sean.
We want
Quality
to
stuff
know.
that now our viewers are not privy to. We talked
I'm,
about Barbieheimer,
I'm going to summarize
one of
it
my
for
one of
them
my
by
top three
saying
P's.
that Chris.
Sure, summarize that. Sure.
No, that Chris made it through the entirety of both movies, and then he peed, and we want to know Twitter poll longest pee you've ever had in your life. You actually have to Twitter poll that. But now, Chris, did you say you made it through both movies?
No.
No,
I've watched them at different times. Just when I when I started Oppenheimer, I peed and I was like, cool, I'm good. And usually I have no problems. Like I'm great. Some people are like, oh no, I gotta take a break and stuff. I was like, no, I'm good. And halfway through Oppenheimer, I was like, dang it, I gotta pee. So then that was the longest time I ever held my pee. And then when I got out, that was top three longest pees ever. But
and that's the type of quality content that you miss. Also, last week Chris got promoted. He was less excited about it this week. Chris, I understand. Back to the
oh,
grind.
that was great. Just
You can't follow that up for a little while now. And then I complained that I have to finish up our patio project out there, but that it's going well, and it led to me getting a new TV because I convinced my wife to let us put one of our existing TVs outside. So, big patio is supposed to be a big deal. I'm mostly excited about the TV, but it'll be great. So, that's my summary, and I'm sorry you missed the high quality bathroom content and one Gary Goldman joke that now I can't remember. Oh, the Karate Kid, the sorbet of movies. And this week, we are going to talk to you about our top 5 Avatar pets. And we're going to top 5 favorite Avatar universe pets with the emphasis on the pets, as in what we would like to have we pets. I kind of framed myself specifically in the Avatar, The Last Airbender time frame and universe. Chris was like, nope, real live action. Gonna have
yeah,
me.
but people wouldn't like freak out about it though.
Right.
Like
Like
if they
they like
saw, yeah.
unless it's Bosco, and then they would because they'd be like, what is he? And then you're just like, he's a bear. And and that's Bosco's whole thing. And Chris, am I forgetting anything that I mentioned the first time?
No, I think you're good.
Man, when I mess up the first recording, the second one, it's always high and tight.
I'm like, I was like regurgitating what I just talked about naturally, Sean.
Chris, Chris already heard
don't
all
have the
this. So I
same
gotta tell him
conversation
again.
over here.
We will serpentine. We'll go 5-1, and I imagine there will be quite a bit of overlap, and that's fine. And I'll start. Chris, I'm gonna start with my number 5, and I hope it does not upset people because I want people to remember these are my favorites. I know it's number 5, but it's in my top 5 favorites. That's good, and that is Naga. And Naga is a polar bear dog, and I love dogs. And I don't know if I like polar bears or not. I've never owned one, but Naga's very dog-like. She's polar bear size, but she's very dog-like in the show. And I expressed some concerns that she's white, and my wife is a funeral director, and there's going to be a lot of white hair, and that's a recurring theme throughout some of my selections. And but more importantly, I've always considered myself a medium dog guy, and she gives off just big dog energy. Like, obviously she is a big dog, she gives off big dog energy, but she's fun, she's useful, she like literally getting to ride a polar bear, that sounds awesome. And yeah, no, I wish I could go higher, but listen, there's good stuff on this list.
Okay. Yeah, that's a good list. Oh, that's a good choice. My number 5 is the eel hound. Now, Master Piandao says there's nothing faster on water or on land than the eel hound. And I always thought the eel hound was a really underrated animal and clearly can be domesticated. Um, and so yeah, I really like it. And you can. There's kind of a theme with all 5 of my choices. It'll be really fun to ride Ilham. How fast it is. I mean, if it's the fastest thing on land, it probably goes, like 50 miles an hour. That'd be freaking cool to just, ride on the highway on the freaking Ilhound.
Get a
Not on the
speeding
highway.
ticket on my
Just on the regular.
Eelhound.
I won't put on. Yeah, I won't put on the highway. It'll get hit. Um, yeah, that'll be really fun. The only thing I don't like about the Ilhound is I'm not sure what its skin feels like.
The thing I don't
Like
like
they
about
didn't.
them is that they're kind of terrifying.
They do look a little terrifying.
They're
They're,
they're
yeah,
they're just
that's
kind of
not
sketchy.
definitely the uncuddliest of the list
I
that I
think.
have.
Listen, five's a great place for that. It's strict utility and cool points, but you can't snuggle that thing. Not gonna do it. Chris, hit me with your number 4.
My number 4. Now this animal hasn't been domesticated, but I think it's possible. Um, and then this is saber-toothed moose lion. I think it's a freaking huge thing. It You can ride it, very commanding. This is one of those animals that'd be just so fun just to get on the back of it. I mean, it stands freaking tall.
The thing
It'll
looks like it's
protect you.
16 feet tall. Like,
Yeah, I think so. Like, and I always just see these pictures of Sokka, these fan arts of Sokka riding it as an adult. I'm like, yeah, that'd be really cool to ride in the battle on a saber-toothed moose lion. And just the name of it's a really cool thing. Oh yeah, I got a saber-toothed moose lion. They had saber-tooths. I'll probably get
STML.
saber-tooth.
I got a STML. Do you have to say the entire thing every time, or can we shrink it?
Yeah. I am having a vendetta against acronyms. I think the corporate world needs to lose acronyms because you lose people all the time. Sometimes in meetings, I'm like, SSC, what is okay? I don't know what that is. Oh, and then I write down. I have a file on my computer just called acronyms. So when I find out a new acronym, I write it down and I put it in the files, and I go back and reference it anytime I need to. Done with acronyms.
Can we at least truncate it at like Saber Moo?
Sure.
Listen, I like truncating things. Listen, another Gary Goldman reference, but go back and listen if you haven't done it in a while. The Gary Goldman, the contractions bit, or not the states one. He talks
That's
about,
good.
yeah,
That's a good
that's a
one.
great bit. Chris, my number 4, and kind of for the similar reason as your Eelhound was number 5, I put Nyla, the Shirshu, on here.
Mm-hmm.
And the only reason that Nyla is this low is just she's ugly. But listen, that thing looks fast. It it kind of has its own little superpower, and you can ride it. So utilitarian. I tend to lean mammals. Always have in pets, right? I've never been like a snakes or reptiles type guy.
Yeah.
Nyla would probably be higher if she just wasn't kind of ugly. It's not an attractive looking animal. But I also feel like those things could probably like climb, or even if you told me it could burrow. Like I know it can't burrow with
Oh,
you on its back. But like if you told me it could burrow, I would believe you. It probably could climb with you on its back. They just looks really. That's very utilitarian pick for Nyla.
yeah. Yeah. Definitely. That's a good one. That one. Never mind. I'll say that. It's not. It's not in my list, but I thought about that one. Oh, and I'm sorry. You go. Number 3.
Oh yeah, you're right. Okay. Number 3, another controversial pick. Number 3 is Appa. I wanted Appa to be
Mm.
higher, but listen, Appa's not stealthy at all. You gotta feed Appa so much food. I mean, I know he kind of takes care of
Absolutely.
himself, but like, he's a giant garbage disposal. I don't have 5 friends that I need to fly around a lot, so flying would be cool. I don't need a bison-sized plane. A flying bison-sized plane. A smaller flying thing would be cool. But it just the extra white hairs. He can't be in the house with me. Like
Yeah.
he's basically by design an outdoor pet. But I still love him. He's still number 3 on my list because he's got great personality. He's still insanely useful. He flies. Enough said. He's insanely useful. And I mean, I don't know. He's got a nice personality. It looks like he'd give a good hug, you know? And if he's outside, maybe his hair wouldn't bother Heather so much.
Yeah, sure. That is interesting. You put Appa at number 3 because I have Flying Bison at number 3, which sure Appa.
Yeah.
Although, would
Probably.
I choose Appa
Could I
specifically?
choose a
I'd
has
almost be
there
bad if
recorded
I.
been like a smaller one I could work with? Like not just a kid one, like not a
Nah,
younger one,
nah, they're all
but a
they're all
small one.
huge.
It's still it's a giant flying bison. Dang.
Yeah, I mean, sure, I'll go Appa. There's not really another Sky Bison. I mean, there are other notable Sky Bisons, um, but I mean, Yang Chen Sky Bison, very ride or die.
Yeah,
There,
100%.
ride or die.
That's too soon maybe. I don't know.
Nah. Or not. I don't know. Anyway, don't want to ruin the. Yeah, the. Yeah, I'll
Pretty
choose
sure when
Appa.
you laughed
But
at your own ride or die joke, you might have ruined it.
Sky Bison though are I've said this before. Sky Bison are the minivans of outer animals. Like they can take
Luxury minivans. They're comfortable.
yeah they can take a bunch of people. Like I'm going to Tulsa this weekend. Man, imagine how easy it is on a Sky Bison. Given I put in a lot of safety features for kids.
They would need
But
it
it's
for
like, all right,
sure.
let's just hop on, and
As
we'll
far as
go.
pets that you could shoot down, by enemies, like it's gonna take a little bit to bring a sky bison. It's a built-in safety feature, just in its size.
Well, I meant like
Not getting
buckling
shot down
in
by
kids.
firebenders.
I wasn't. Yeah, I meant ensuring that a kid wouldn't fall off the side
Oh yeah,
of
that's
it.
what I meant.
I'm not concerned about someone shooting at me from the ground.
Listen, in all the episodes where we see, no, that's not true. I was gonna say like they're always under attack or being chased or whatever, and they're never just casually riding Appa. But that's not a true statement. I retract it.
Yeah.
Appa's not in constant danger.
All right. My number 2 is this time it's a very specific animal, very specific character. It is a dragon because dragons are cool. Because if flying bisons are the minivans of the animal world in Avatar, dragons are like the sports car Ferraris of the animal world. And the specific dragon I don't want a dragon like Ron or whatever. Those dragons, because those are like the skinny long dragons. And Roku's dragon also like a small skinny long
They're like
dragon.
wyverns.
I want Zuko's dragon. Zuko's dragon was freaking built. Like it was big. Druk, I think is his dragon's name. I mean, that dragon is fast. I'm sure you can get 2 people on there if you need to.
Oh, sure.
Strong.
Yeah, that dragon ain't gonna.
Also, the nice thing about dragons in the outer universe is they got a little fur. That's probably the part they didn't want to be pet on. Their little fur part. They're not all scales. They got some fur to them.
There's a part they give him a good scratch and they'd roll over and you'd be like, "See, he's a dragon, but look at him. He's a big pushover." So you're leaning Druk? I say his name.
Druk. I think it's Druk. Druk.
Chris, my number 2 is. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, I was saying so. That's my number 2.
My number 2 is my dark horse, and it's listen. I know it sounds like I'm breaking all my own rules, but hear me out. It's the badger moles. First of all,
interesting.
Badger moles taught Toph.
Did not see you going with that.
They taught Toph how to bend, right? So that's wicked cool. Utilitarian, totally take care of themselves, right? Like they don't need a house. They just all right. I'll see you in the morning. Underground. I'm sure I know they have to eat and like I could feed them, but I don't feel like I have to provide them a constant like in stream of hay or whatever. I feel like they find their own stuff. I think badgers are carnivores. I don't know what moles are, but I'm sure they just eat whatever lands in their mouth.
They eat bugs.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. So I just feel like they would be better on their own. Badgers, I know they're not really cuddly, like it's kind of wiry hair or whatever, but they're vicious. Like it's I've always thought it's a cool mascot. Not always
Honey badger don't care.
Honey badger
don't
care.
care.
That influenced my decision,
You better
Chris.
don't
The
give up.
existence of that YouTube video. That's important.
Like one of the first. Was that one of the first YouTube videos?
It's not spiders on drugs early, but it's still pretty early. We're talking like our college age YouTube still for sure. So,
Okay.
yeah. Long story short, it sounds like I'm breaking all my own rules, but in the end, they feel very self-sustenant, but still very useful. Brown hair, Heather could ride them to work, and maybe they'll teach me to be an earthbender or
I wonder
not.
what do dragons eat in the Avatar universe? Because I would think that they eat meat.
They almost
They
have to,
probably
right?
eat some other. Yeah, yeah. There's no way.
They're
Sharp teeth. Evolution would say that they eat meat.
Well, sharp teeth, and they can fly. And there's something about me that thinks like maybe they're like a hawk, right? They're just like swooping. They got real good eyes, and then
Probably eat deer.
right. It's like
Something like that.
like a hawk, but for larger mammals.
Yeah.
Chris, you want to do a couple of honorable mentions before we jump into
Sure.
I'll do my
So
honorable mentions,
my
and then you can lead the ones, unless you don't want to
okay.
do that. All right.
Go ahead.
I hadn't thought of eelhounds, Chris. That's great. I'm glad you brought that up. I think that's good honorable mention. I still don't want to touch the slimy things. And then Flopsy.
Mm-hmm.
We don't see a lot of Flopsy, but he looks like he's got some utility and some cuddliness to him.
I just had a weird thing. Flopsy just seems like Flopsy could beat me up. Like it. Flopsy had full control of its hands. It was a gorilla goat hybrid rabbit
Yeah, it
type of
had
deal, and I felt
dex
like it could just
opposable thumbs. That's what it had.
control. Yeah, yeah. I feel like it could just control me, and I didn't want that.
And that's why he's an honorable mention. And then I can't remember what I was asking about, but I didn't want to spoil anything. What is the thing that
Thanks,
Juan
deer cat.
rides? And I just remember it being cool and elegant. I just couldn't remember enough about it to justify putting it in my top 5. So those are my honorable mentions.
So my honorable mention is the deer cat as well. And then I remember I don't really like cats. But it seemed but it seemed like a good option. It seemed like it could be in the house, but you could still ride it, even though it's probably the ratio of your weight to its weight. It's probably 3-2,
Yeah.
somewhere around there.
You can't gain any weight if you want to ride that thing,
True. I think it's not going to carry around a 250-pound person. But still pretty cool. Then I had the sheer shoe as an honorable mention. Now, these animals aren't in my honorable mention because the thing with my list is that most of them are rideable. Actually, all of them are rideable. That was very important for me because I feel like if they're not rideable, they just feel like my regular pet.
In the whole
The
world of
dog.
fantastic pets, right? Why would you just pick like a dog? Because I know I want it to do something.
Like if I had a pond, sure, I would like a school of turtle ducks or whatever a group of them are called. And I didn't have a winged lemur on there. No diss at Momo, but it just seems like it's just a lazy cat that's gonna be around that flies around. Like, I don't know, just wasn't that appealing to me.
I didn't have quite the personal pull to Momo or Pabu or that type. I will say that it feels like Pabu you could
Between the
train to
two,
do intelligent things maybe.
between the two, I'd rather have Pabu.
I think I would. I know Momo can fly, but his flight doesn't do
That
much
doesn't
for
help.
me. Yeah. And Chris, not honorable mention, even though it's not real, is the pet that we're gonna invent that Avatar
Yes,
Zeto is
we
gonna
thought about
ride,
this.
and that's I'm
I
sorry, did I
send
spoil?
Sean random message. I send Sean random messages sometimes. I was just like, "Hey, there's this animal I came up with." And I'll send you like pictures, and it's like I'll just Google. But dang it.
Chat GPT, like what is
Eagle. Oh
this?
no, I'll Google eagle fox or fox eagle, and someone drew someone with fox eagle.
And it
There's like
looks
two different
great.
kinds. Yeah,
Sent 2 options.
there's
Really
one
awesome.
specific one.
It looks like Fire Nation
Yeah.
spirit pet, but listen, we got a twist. We can't tell Chris because when this podcast turns into from the podcast we are currently into just like our weekly narrative as we write it out, I don't want to spoil that for anybody.
Yeah.
When the show flops, when the Netflix show flops, and we got a year to wait until the next stuff, and then we'll turn it into a narrative podcast. Fox Eagle or Fox Hawk? It's Fox Eagle.
Yeah, I think Fox Eagle.
But
Fox Eagles will be the name of it.
It looked wicked cool.
Yeah.
Chris, do you want to go first or second with our top picks?
I'll go first. My number 1 is your number 5 is the polar bear dog, specifically Nala. I love Nala. The reason why
Naga.
I went with the polar bear dog, Naga. My bad, Naga.
Nala is
Naga.
What's Nala? That's familiar.
Nala's the Shushu. It's the Shushu.
Also, Lion King. Got it.
Naga. Sorry, looking at a figurine of Naga right now. The thing I love about Naga, very loyal, as most dogs are. Big, huge head. Like anytime Korra's petting her, it's just like, it's like a big.
Scratchies.
Yeah. Great at playing with. Great at playing fetch. Could probably even play in my back. My backyard's like the smallest that I think she would enjoy. A good 2 acres would be better.
But you live close to the lake, right?
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah, like you can find some space to.
Yeah. Also, just like riding, like those images of Korra riding Naga looks really fun. Like Naga looks very flexible, very quick and fast. The other good thing about Naga is that Naga will be great outside, but also could come inside. If you let come into the house. She's not too big. Like Appa can't come in, but Naga could come in. Just sit on the huge freaking couch right next to you.
You never need another blanket in your house ever again.
Yeah. Or you can lay on Naga. Like imagine taking a nap on Naga.
One thing I didn't consider that I'm wishing I'd give more credit to is certain animals, when people are riding them, it looks like they're riding them just because they can. Like, yeah, we found a way to sit on top of a Shearshu or a eelhound. Naga looks like being the loyal pet that she is. Looks like it's less of one thing on top of another thing and more like a unit when they're riding together. Like it feels cohesive and right, which in my mind just makes it more comfortable and fun and less just like a mode of transportation.
Yeah.
Naga cares about how you feel when you're up there.
Yeah. Also, I don't think Naga will be that expensive to feed.
She's probably a carnivore, right? Yeah. So, like, if you go to the lake and you turn her loose and just like, hey, don't eat somebody else's pets. If you could, teach her to not eat things that have collars or whatever.
Yeah.
Cycle of life. Chris, my number 1, and no surprise here. He might be the worst avatar, but he has the coolest pet. I'm picking Fang specifically, kind of for the opposite reasons. Mm-hmm. I liked the sleek. Felt more convenient. And again, I know this is so backwards. Like, he's too big to come in the house. He's reptilian. He's not cuddly. But, like, I feel like he would just be there when I need. Like, if I walked out the door and I'd be like, hey, what have you been up to? And he'd be like, I'm not even going to tell you. And I'm like, good. I'd rather not know. You ready to go? And he'd be like, yeah. Like, he'd be loyal but self-sustenant. But useful but not invasive, and also, wait a minute, he's a dragon, and there's something about the long skinny ones that I've always kind of liked that like maybe they can coil up or fit into smaller places like that you don't think they can fit into. And then I feel like I had one more reason. Oh yeah, breathing fire, that's pretty cool too. And I really gave credit to animals that my top 3 of Appa and Badger Moles and Fang are all kind of benders in their own animal way. I just think that's cool. So, any dragon, but Fang specifically. What's Fang, Drook, does...
Rin and Cha, that's her name.
Yeah. Huh. And that's the pet that I would want. Chris,
All right.
any final thoughts? Any pets that we missed? Hey, if we missed a pet, listen, Bosco is
Hmm.
funny, but he's a gimmick.
You know, when you said Bosco, I was like, oh yeah, Bosco would be a good pick. Like I might choose Bosco over what did I
What?
decide?
I mean, I'm sure he's fine, but he
Well,
just
but you probably can't write it that well. Like riding
Bosco
Bosco
does
might
not
be
want you to
fun,
ride him.
like the first 3 minutes, and then he probably just like slumps over because yeah, he doesn't want you riding.
Have you ever seen a regular person ride a regular bear, Chris? Because that's what Bosco is.
I've only seen a person ride a bear on Zelda, and the bear's not that fast.
Right. It's kind of yep. It's more of a lumbering experience than anything. Let us
You know,
know.
it'd be interesting if the Avatar universe had a oh my gosh, why can't I think of it? Not a unicorn, a Pegasus.
Oh, that would be
That's
sick.
it,
I
or something. They don't have anything that really look. I mean, they have horse things, but they
well,
don't have things that look like horses.
your fox eagle is sort of Pegasus like, right? You get a quadrupedal
Yeah,
animal
yeah,
with wings. Uh,
yeah. That yeah, I think that's what slightly inspired it a little bit.
which is why my new favorite Avatar pet is the fox eagle, and that's the end of story. Um,
Yeah, and I'm thinking the Fox Eagle is going to be kind of probably the same size as Naga because you want to be able to ride it, but not ride it to a way of just like, oh, this animal's gonna like hurt the next morning.
yeah, well, and it's not that we have to stick to the constraints of regular animals. Like Appa is a six-legged flying bison that's 8 times the
Manatee,
size of a regular bison. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
the proportions don't have to
yeah,
stay
yeah, yeah,
intact.
yeah.
So that's fair. It can
No,
be.
definitely foxes don't get that big.
I would say if a fox eagle could be roughly small horse size, like one comfortable, but still could
Yeah,
maybe come in the house if it
yeah.
curls up real cute and gets his wings all tucked in and curl up in a little dog ball. You know.
My my initial inspiration thinking of it was I recently watched Transformers Rise of the Beast, whatever it was. But then it reminded me that when I used to watch Beast Wars, there was this animal, the Transformer, that was like a wolf eagle hybrid, and it was like towing the line between the auto the good guys and the bad guys. But then I thought, well, no, it can't be a wolf eagle. Wolf eagle's cool, but that would just be a straight copy. Well, maybe a fox eagle. Yeah.
Fox feels more Fire Nation-y anyway, right? Like Wolf feels
Yes.
kind of Water
Yeah.
Tribe.
Yeah. Exactly. Wolf feels water tribe.
Chris, it's funny that you talked because the other day my friends and I were talking about Shia LaBeouf. I don't know how to say that. Movies that we had kind of forgotten about, right? And just like everybody remembers Holes, right? But not like Surf's Up isn't a good movie, but like it had Jeff Bridges and Shia LaBeouf and like another pretty good sized name in there.
You
You know what
said
I'm?
surfs up?
No, is it the one with the penguins? Right? You ever seen that? Is Surf's
I
Up
don't
the
think
right
I
name of
have.
that movie? He's a penguin. And Shia LaBeouf is penguin, and he wants to be a professional surfer, and it's shot in like a documentary.
Oh, okay.
Is that the right movie title? Maybe I'm.
I never remember watching. Is
Anyway,
this a cartoon?
it's one of those. Yeah, it's one of those
Uh,
movies that like it's not a good movie, but
yeah.
there's
Okay.
one line that stands out to me so much, and I don't even know. It's not even a great line or anything. I just really the timing, the comedic timing of it is so good. And Shia LaBeouf's penguin like makes his own surfboard, and he's impatient and he's not listening. And he runs and he jumps in the wave, and the wave just snaps the surfboard in half. And Jeff Bridges' old fat surfer penguin comes up and he like picks it up. He's like, "You guys like barbecue? I got some wood here." And the cameramen like just start following him towards the fire pit with Shia LaBeouf's surfboard he just made and broke. I
That's
don't
funny.
know why.
I've
It's
never
not.
seen this movie. Sounds
It's
interesting.
not a great movie. It's a fine movie. It's an
Oh,
okay movie.
okay.
But
Well,
long
there
story
goes
short,
one eye.
Shia LaBeouf movies that you
Yeah,
kind of forgot
I
about.
actually like the movie Eagle Eye, and also I love the first Transformers movie. unabashedly.
After the last time we conversed about the Transformers, I didn't watch it, but I went back and looked at critical response of them, and like the first two, I believe, had really good critical response. It was after that that
Yeah.
I don't know if that
After
tracks
that,
in your
then
brain is accurate, but that's.
I tried.
Thanks for watching Avatar: The Last Podcasters. I'm Shawn. That's my friend Chris Ford, aka the Objective Geek of YouTube and Twitter fame. Let us know what pets we forgot, other topics you'd be interested in, which obviously is hearing more about Avatar Seto and his definitely not Batman-inspired adventures, totally separate, no overlap whatsoever. And I'll leave the information in the description below, and if you could spare us any kind of likes, comments, reviews, thumbs up.
What are your top pets?
Your top pets, right. All of it helps. We appreciate hearing and seeing all of it. Thank you very much. We'll see you next week.
I'm cold.
Chris, I never know if I should wait until you wave, and then sometimes you wave, and sometimes maybe you wave, but it's too late. I already clicked. I can't see if you waved. Waved?
Yeah, waved.
Woven?
Yeah, it's waved. Definitely waved.
See if you've woven. No, I'm sticking there.